Hi guys, Jay Smith here, down in Suffolk. We're going to do some testing. We're going to do some comparison testing today. Now obviously you know what you're going to be looking at because you've clicked the video. But let's go in the custom fitting studio, let's go in my little cave. Let's have a look at what we're going to be testing today, because I've had this request from quite a few people from YouTube videos that I've done in the past wanting me to do this test or comparison. So let's go in the old custom fitting studio and find out what we're going to be doing. Right, we're inside now in my custom fitting studio and we're going to compare these things today. The MP20 HMB and we've got the JPX919 Forged. Now they're both made out of the same material within reason. One over here, the 919 Forged, has got boron in it. A little bit of dash of boron in there. It says it's a little bit more stronger. They can make the face thinner and stuff like that. And then you've got the normal 1025E forged in this thing. But this is a hot metal blade. The HMB is a hot metal blade from on the MP20 range. It's a bit of a hollow design. It's designed to be a little bit different to the blade and stuff like that. So it's the more forgiving blade. The difference in tech though, with boron, you could argue it might feel a bit firmer. We'll check that when we go hit some in the outdoor teaching bay. But it's got big toe weights on this one. So you could argue that potentially it might be more forgiving off toe strikes. We can check that. And then the HMB has got tungsten in these. So not in all the clubs. In the scoring clubs, the tungsten's been removed. But when you get into the mid irons and stuff like that, you've got tungsten there to help with MOI, forgiveness, off centre hits, and all that. But the good thing with these two, they've got both exactly the same loft, so we can measure these identically. So it's just going to be down to feel and how these each perform in their own rights. But let's go outside now in the outdoor teaching bay. Let's go hit some. But we'll have FSX going, so we'll be able to see flights and simulated flights and that lot. So yeah, let's go get all the cameras set up and see how they look and feel. Okay, so we're out now in the outdoor teaching bay. So we've got both cameras set up, quad on the floor, and FSX mobile capturing. So we'll be able to get this up on the old screen. So we've got these two. We've got the 919 and the HMB. A little bit of a matchup. Now, two kind of different clubs, even though they kind of blend. You can understand why people want to see the matchup between the HMB and the 919, because this is supposed to be the HMB, the MP20 HMB hot metal blade is supposed to be the forgiving one. And if you've seen my test, I did this initially, a couple of months back now, up there. Oh yeah, stick up there, have a look if you want. It performs very, very well. Again, the 919 forged. Now, when I did this review, when this came out a little while ago, again, up on there, have a look if you wish. Again, this performed very, very well. And compared to the 900 that it replaced, performs much better than the 900 forged. This one goes much higher than the old one. Anyway, which one should we do first? Let's go do 919 first. Pop this one over here. So, we don't have to hit many balls, 3 of each I suppose, that'll do. Well, okay, down by the ball for one, it's a nice, I've always had a slight issue with too long a length. I'm a blade player, I love my MP20 blades. They're blades, they're small and everything else. These are designed for people which aren't looking for small. These are looking for people which actually wants to keep the Mizuno look. A relatively thin top line, a decent medium-ish sole from this kind of range of golf club, but with help. And it feels okay. So this is the 1025E Forged with a bit of boron. So let's go hit it, see how it feels. It's been a little while since I've hit these. FSX, yes, FSX is running. Get it up on the old screen. Nice hit. Oh, that's been a little while since I've seen that one. I can't remember the last time I actually spent some time on the 919 Forged, but yeah, does it feel forged? Yes, it does. Does it feel I can sense, even with the range balls, I can sense a little bit of clippiness. I mean, that's all day long, that's down the pipe, and I would take that all day long, and it feels absolutely fine. But again, I mean, it's not as straight as over the last one. Could I complain about it no. If you gave me a set, would I be unhappy? No, I wouldn't. It doesn't give me the ultimate soft feeling, but again, it's not going to, because it's a 919 Forged. It's a JPX model, but it feels absolutely fine. It feels soft, yes. Does it feel as quite as soft as, say, the Tor? No. The Blade? No. The MMC is a different club altogether. But last one, I like those. I mean, there's two straight down the pipe. Touch left, but straight down. Oh, balance. That's three absolutely wonderful shots. I'd take that. I mean, so how far did they go offline? I got 2.8 yards, 4 yards, 1.4 yards. Yeah. The big difference with these is there's no boron in the HMB. No boron at all. But this is hollow. So where on the 919 you've got that undercut cavity and all that, this is not. I never was a fan, I never have been a massive fan of hollow clubs, because they do tend to make a louder noise, which I'm not overly a fan of. Some people do, because they like the feeling of explosive power. But anyway, oh, by the way, just thought I'd let you know, I've got these in exactly the same shaft. Just before people go, oh, it's not fair because you got me the wrong. Yeah, it's okay, yeah, just exactly the same shaft. No difference in shaft at all. It's the KBS dollar taper 120 stiff for the guys who want to know. Right, let's go hit these. Now that's slightly a bit more to the right than the last ones. Not by much, I'm being picky, but can I feel a difference? It's slight. It is, I can feel a difference, yes. This is marginally softer, but I'm talking margin. It's by acoustics, and acoustics is so close. It's, yeah, I mean, how far did that one go? Oh, it's in and around the 160 market. Yes, it's the same as there, but still gone a bit right. Where the other ones went fractionally left, well, they're still down target wise, but it feels nice. Not like my blade, mind. Again, that's fractionally right. That's a good shot. And it is softer. It is fractionally soft. I can feel it. It is. Is it massive? No, it's not. So if you're looking for comparison-wise, is there a massive difference in feel between them? No, there's not a huge. If I was to go get my blades, yes, but there's it's something about the boron in the 919 Forged, and then the hollowness when it comes to HMBs, which kind of cancel each other out. Marginally, I would say it just pipped by the HMB. Last one. Again, it's just a good shot, but it's just fractionally right. That's interesting that I'm slightly right with these. No, but I'm slightly right. I mean, how much am I actually right by? Not a lot. 3 yards, 8 yards, and then bang on. But it's, yeah, if anything, I'm deviating right with these, and then with the 919, I'm fractionally left. And if anything, I'd have to look at the data, but I mean, I'll pop it up on the screen if I can do it. I would say it's face angle. I think it feels to me that I'm fractionally more open with this. Interesting. Right, I'm going to go and hit a load of shots, because these obviously range balls will give us a good idea as to how they feel and how they perform necessarily. But we won't know until we get some proper testing on some real premium balls, just how they go. So I'm going to go hit these loads of times, not just once or twice. You know me, I whack a load to give a decent data set, get an idea of how they perform, good and bad. I'll go hit my Game Ball Vice Pro and see how a premium ball works. I suppose I better go get hitting and hot. Right, hot and bothered, hats off. Yeah, that was a long old winded hitting session. So basically I've hit a lot of shots here with both clubs, the JPX919 Forged and also the MP20 HMB. So I don't just do obviously just a few shots, I'll do a load just to see how, if you do 1 or 2 shots, if you hit them well, then of course you can see how well they're going to go, etc. You see how they can perform. But if you hit a load, every so often you're going to hit a poor shot. So it's always great to try and capture that information whenever it does arrive. Gives you an idea how forgiving they potentially can be. Anyway, so we're just going to do the JPX919 Forged first. So pop them up on the screen so you can have a look. And I've got a little yellow box. We'll go ball data first, and there's a little yellow box that I've highlighted on there. We'll have a look at that one in a minute. On average 121.1 at ball speed, miles an hour. 18.8 launch and 6.5 spin, or 6.584, so nearly 6.6. Launching a half decent amount with that spin's given it a peak height of 36 and then descending at 49.7. So that is, and this is a 7-iron, more than happy with that when it comes into green. I've got ample of control. And at a carry of 168, a loft of 32 degrees, within reason, that is where I'd want to be seeing that kind of lofted club. So let's go over to, no, let's focus on it. That yellow box. Now, I'm not a robot. Every single time I hit a poor shot, that one definitely is a poor shot. You can see the ball speed's gone down to 118. Straight away, very poor. Launch at 18.6. I was surprised how well this did, considering, yeah, let's go on strikes page. Let's just flick over the strikes page so you can see it. 10 mil toe, 15 mil high. I mean, that's terrible. And considering I hit it there, 10 mil toe, 15 mil high, that's not a very good shot. Okay, 93 miles an hour ball speed on that one. Now, the rest of it is not that much, it was not a great shot. It's the strike that's the problem, not necessarily the rest of it. It would have gone fractionally left under normal circumstances, but I'm amazed. Of 10 mil toe, 15 mil high, and that went carry distance 163, on average 168. That's only dropped 5 yards from a strike that far off course. That's mental. Anyway, on average, 93.2. I'm hitting 4.1 degrees down, so 4 degrees down, slightly from the inside and slightly closed. Loft 27.1 degrees. Bear in mind, these are exactly the same lofts. Static loss of 32. So as long as I'm delivering, give or take the same amount, we should be hopefully seeing either performance gain or exactly the same. We don't know. We'll go over to that one in a minute. But on average, 7 mil toe, 2 mil low. But I still want to gravitate towards the toe. You can see there's quite a few shots there where I want to hit the toe. Now, whether it's because of that, the JPX919 Forged have got that quite large clumpy bit on the end, on the toe side, which you would have to think that's moving the centre of mass over towards the toe and giving it a somewhat more of a sweet spot, more towards toey. I mean, that's trying to work that out exactly what that, but it does seem to be very forgiving out of the toe. Give it that. So let's go over to the HMB data. Ball data first, 121.6. So compared to 121.1, I've gained half a mile an hour. Then we go over to 19.6 launch. So it is launching slightly higher than the JPX919 Forged by 0.8 of a degree, nearly a degree. Spin 6.7, so it's spinning slightly more. So you've got 6.584, I think it is there, but it's 100 RPM. I reckon if I hit enough of these shots and hit more and more and more and more, that would be blended to nothing. But going up 1 yard higher, 37 yards up in the air, and descending slightly steeper at 50.4. Again, I'm going to have no issue controlling these into a green at all. And at 168, exactly the same carry. It just gets there slightly differently by the HMB going up slightly higher and descending slightly steeper, which for control purposes you could understand. You can see on this screen, there's quite a few yellow bits, and there is a reason why. We'll flick over to the old club screen now. You can see why those yellow bits. On average, it's 93.6. So I think was it 93.2? Yeah, 93.2 on the 919 Forged, 93.7. So I've gained half a mile an hour of speed. There's nothing. Still 4 degrees down, still slightly from the inside, slightly closed. But the loft, 27.3. That's within 0.2 of the 919. So again, I'm not a robot, but if it's static lofted to 32, I'm slightly delofting through delivery, but I'm delofting exactly the same. So within 0.2 of a degree. On average, 4 mil heel, 3 mil low, but you can see there, for some reason, Look at those heel shots. Now, I'm not meaning to do this. I'm just not having a brilliant day when it comes to the HMB. And I've hit a lot of shots which are quite heely and somewhat quite low. But what I'm surprised, if you look at those and then flick over to the ball data, just look how good they are at heel strikes. How forgiving this hot metal blade is. And I'm hitting shots there that are quite a long way from effective middle. Yet that's doing exceptionally well. And they say blades, or okay, it's a hot metal blade, and it is slightly bigger than the blade, and it's got more tech than the blade. It's a hollow with tungsten and all that. It does, within reason, I would say it does compromise feel a bit, but look at those performance figures from something like that. Out of the two, what would I have? It's hard to think. If we go on the comparisons there, you can see just on ball data and then club data, it all comes down to feel. The HMB feels a fraction nicer and also performs slightly better. It goes up slightly higher, it descends slightly steeper. When you go into the 6, into the 5s, I'm going to be grabbing every single piece of height and descent angle I can grab going into those greens. Looking at dispersion, I mean, on average there with the 919 Forged, I'm 4.4 yards offline, standard deviation 7.9. When it comes to, if I've got it on the right screen, there we go. I'm 4 yards right against 4 yards left, and I'm 4.1 offline. So standard deviation means I'm tighter. I'd go HMB. I would go with HMB. I like the look of it more. It's still, I like my chrome. It's not chrome, but it's more chromey than the satin 919 Forged. But yeah, I would say on par, I would say even if you were to go with any one of these, you wouldn't be disappointed. But you can see by the design of the clubs, necessarily just how forgiving they can be. And what I was interested in was how bad I hit that JPX919 Forged, that one shot, and how well it did, considering how bad it was. And also some of these HMB's shots as well. Exceptionally forgiving clubs. Now you're not going to get that performance you're not going to get from the blade. So if you don't hit the middle, then don't get the blade. But that is a definite option because it's just a big blade, the HMB. But anyway, hope you can get some valuable information from that. I hope you liked that one. If you did, down the bottom there's a little thumbs up. If you can click that one for us, that'd be great. Also, while you're down there, a little red button, subscribe. If you can click that one, that would also be wonderful. And whilst you're down there, next to it is a little bell icon. If you can give that a click, that'll let you know next time I upload another video. So hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.